Okay, I'm going to talk in this lesson about four important folds of a triangle, which I mentioned in my last lesson as well. And the first fold I'm going to talk about is called the perpendicular bisector of a side. So I've just cut out some little triangles here, and I'm just going to pick one out and I'm going to bisect one side. So here's a triangle. There's three sides on it. Let me put it against the table so it's a little bit clearer. So there's my triangle, three sides, and I want to construct the perpendicular bisector of a side. And I can choose any side. I'm going to choose this one at the bottom here. I'm going to construct the perpendicular bisector of that side. And all I'm going to do to construct the perpendicular bisector of that side is I'm going to bring these two corners together. Okay, so bring those two corners of the side you want to perpendicularly bisect. Get them together as best as you can. And then just crease the whole thing up, bit of pressure, and what you have there, along there, that little fold line there is called the perpendicular bisector of a line. You just fill it in roughly here. So that's perpendicular. So a couple of things, it's going to be perpendicular there to that side, and it bisects it. So this segment will be equal in length to this segment. Okay, so that's a little fold, a perpendicular bisector of a side of a triangle. The second fold I want to talk about is the angle bisector, an angle bisector. And all these folds can be done in three ways. You know, pick any side, in this case pick any angle. So I've got another triangle in here and I'm going to choose to bisect one of the angles. So maybe I'll choose this angle up here on the top. So to choose that, I'm just going to place this side here along this side here. I'm going to just fold along the angle in such a way that the two sides are running along next to each other. A little bit awkward, but just get those two sides running right along each other and fold it, and a bit of pressure to get a crease in there. And when I release that, we have an angle bisector. So you can see that in there. That's your angle bisector. Very simple. What we have is that angle and that angle are congruent. They are going to be equal in measure. Just a little fold of the triangle, an angle bisector. Okay, the next fold in the triangle I'm going to talk about is an altitude. Okay. An altitude, remember what an altitude is. It's going to go from a vertex perpendicular to the side opposite it. So how do I get it to go perpendicular to the side? Well, I'm going to fold the altitude, I'm going to fold the altitude from this vertex to this side. So I'm going to kind of lay this part of this side across so it's parallel to this part. I'm going to make sure that my fold goes up through the vertex. So, let me just twist it to make it a little bit easier. So get that fold along there, and I want it going right up through the vertex. So I want that going right to that point up top and fold in along there. And you can see that's right along, running alongside. It's going up through the vertex, and when I have that little line in there, and again, I'm not using a ruler really, I'm just getting a rough idea. This is called the altitude, often given the letter H for height. It gives me the height of the triangle. If I stand that triangle up on its end, that tells me how tall it is. Notice the altitude always perpendicular to the side, okay, that it's intersecting. So that's an altitude of a triangle, and that's how we can fold that into a triangle. And then the last fold I'm going to look at, which is possibly the trickiest fold of the four of them, is just the median. So a median runs from any vertex and goes perpendicular, it doesn't go perpendicular, from any vertex to the midpoint of the side opposite. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the midpoint of the side opposite by just folding along corner to corner. So I'm going to draw the median from this vertex to this side. So fold along corner to corner, like so. And I'm just going to get that point in there. I'm not putting the crease along this side in here. I'm leaving that kind of loose. but I just want to see the midpoint, which is going to be there on the bottom. So let me open this up, and you'll see here, hopefully, that I've kind of marked that in there. That's the midpoint. Okay, we know that because the way we folded made this side and this side equal. So this is the midpoint of this side. To construct a median, I have to fold along from there up to there. So this is a little trickier. Maybe I'll get I probably should have done this for all of them. I'll just grab a little set square here just to fold along. So I'm going to just fold along there, from there to there. Would have made sense to use the set square for all of them, actually. There you go. Learning as we go, education in action. So folding along from my midpoint there up to my vertex, and that in there, that's called the median. And we can draw a median, like all the folds, we can construct it in 3 different ways, from any particular side or any particular vertex in this case. So there are your 4 folds. Practice those. My next class will be about centers of triangles, which involves really understanding these 4 different triangle folds. Okay, perpendicular bisector of a side. That's that one. Perpendicular bisector of a side. An angle bisector, which was that one. Okay, an altitude, which is that one. And then finally the median, going from the vertex to the midpoint of the side opposite. A really good idea to try to practice those, because that's what will cement them into your brain, and you'll remember then what's what. Okay, practice.